This is for all you multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zola. No applause? You're all fired.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life. Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
What geese?
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap.
But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day: what we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in. That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Good evening, Jacqueline Hedepesh. Good to see you, my friend. I hope all is well with you. Hello to the three people here now, rather. Welcome. It is the 14th day of the Diddy trial. You know how we do. You know how we get down. We give you all the updates from NBCNews.com. Give you a dynamic video, a couple articles. We hang out for a little bit, and then we are done. So, with that being said, because there's actual content to talk about. Higher is waiting, lows available, but either way, we are live on tour. Let me tell you how this I got an intro here. Yes, indeed. You see the virtual tour background. Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music. Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all of you here. Let's get to the getting into what we do. I'm sorry. I saw a comment that said, oh my God, I saw a comment that said it must have been a slow content day today. I'm like, good day. All right, y'all, here we go from NBCNews.com. Sean Diddy Combs trial cross-examination of ex-assistant Mia ends. Combs faces 5 criminal counts in total, including 2 of sex trafficking, and has denied the allegations. What to know about the sex trafficking trial? Rather, a woman who is only being referred to by a pseudonym, Mia, who used to work for Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Diddy Combs' personal assistant for several years, returned to the stand today. She faced cross-examination after accusing Combs of sexually assaulting her on multiple occasions. The defense repeatedly asked Mia why she stayed with Combs despite the alleged assaults that she says she endured because when he was happy, I was safe. She told the court. Sylvia Oken, area director of sales and marketing at the Beverly Hills Hotel, also took the stand. Prosecutors say they will start tomorrow off by calling a named Eddie Garcia to the witness stand. Garcia worked as a security supervisor at the Los Angeles Hotel, where Combs was filmed attacking Cassie Ventura in March of 2016. Combs faces 5 criminal counts, 1 count racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has ferociously denied the allegations against him. This live briefing may include graphic descriptions of sexual violence. For resources on sexual assault, call the National Sexual Assault Telephone Hotline. Sign up for the Diddy on Trial newsletter for key developments and analysis, and listen to Dateline's nightly podcast. So now that you're all caught up with what's going on, let's get into the day that was, ladies and gentlemen. Court is adjourned for the day with no one expected to return for testimony. Prosecutors said they will start tomorrow off by calling a man named Eddie Garcia to the witness stand. Make sure we can turn around here. There we go. With no one expected to return for testimony, prosecutors say they will start off tomorrow by calling a man named Eddie Garcia to the witness stand. Garcia worked as a security supervisor at the Los Angeles Hotel, where Combs was filmed attacking Cassie Ventura in March of 2016. He briefly took the stand today to invoke his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. He received immunity or sparing him from potential prosecutions, so as long as he answers questions truthfully. Court is adjourned and will resume tomorrow morning. So I'm thinking that I'll probably resume around maybe 8 or 9 a.m. I know that there's some content creators out there for sure. Shout out to all the content creators making it do what it do in New York City. Shout out to y'all for sure. All right, here we go. Government acknowledges witness face was shown in error. Prosecutor Maureen Coleman told the court that hours earlier, the face of Mia was shown mistakenly on video, piped into the courthouse overflow room. Judge Marion asked if something went wrong with the redacted footage that should have been aired, or the incorrect version was used. The prosecution didn't have an answer. So, if you may not know, but no courtroom sketches of Mia were supposed to be out, like facial record. Any facial features that can make Mia recognizable. But also, 2, you can't record any audio or video of the federal court. And in the overflow room, there's only certain things that you are able to see and hear, right? So apparently that was not supposed to be the case with Mia. Okay. Combs used aliases for hotel reservations. Witness says Sylvia Oken, area director of sales and marketing at the Beverly Hills Hotel, is on the stand now as the prosecution's next witness. Oken told jurors that Sean Combs used the aliases Philip Pines and Frank Black for hotel reservations. She says, it's not uncommon for entertainment industry guests to stay at the hotel under an alias. That's very true. Because, the bigger you are, the more protection you need, right? So can you imagine Beyonce, for example, going to my hometown, Little Rock, Arkansas, and staying at the Marriott Hotel in downtown Little Rock? Hell no, that wouldn't happen. So, of course, it would have to be literally in the middle of the night, okay? And she would have to go under a pseudonym, but she couldn't go under Sasha Fierce. She would have to go under a different name and then move in and out, right? So, yeah, that's not surprising that Sean D. Combs were under a alias, but Philip Pines and Frank Black. Was he trying to rhyme with his names? I guess. I don't know, child. Nor do I give a fuck. Mia says she could look her loved ones in the eye without testifying. The witness says she had no choice but to testify against Combs because she doesn't want her younger female loved ones to turn a blind eye to the issue of sexual assault. I can't look at my niece or my goddaughters in the eyes in the future if they happen to be in this situation. And that has to be a heavy burden, right? I mean, what we tend to forget in, cultural experiences like this is that the youth are watching, right? And so just like Diddy's daughters walked out of his testimony, I can only imagine Mia's niece and goddaughters and how they're feeling about their auntie being in this situation, right? Alleged sexual assault is the worst thing she has ever had to talk about. The prosecution had Mia reiterate her feelings of fear in talking about Combs, with her testifying that her terror and difficulty understanding what allegedly happened was particularly why she met with the government so much. Prosecutor Madison Smizer asked me if she's ever been able to speak about her allegations that Combs sexually assaulted her without looking down. No, it's the worst thing I have ever had to talk about in my life, Mia said. So I think I get why the prosecutor Madison Smizer said that, because when you're looking down, you're trying to avoid eye contact because, trying to make that mental connection can trigger you and trigger your emotions. So, of course, because Mia feels shameful, of course, she's holding her head down. So 80% of, communication is nonverbal. So let's roll on here. Working hard, staying out of trouble on redirect. Mia says she had a good reason to keep working hard and ensuring that Combs was pleased, because when he was happy, I was safe, the prosecution witness said. The defense repeatedly asked Mia why she stayed with Combs despite the alleged assaults. She says she endured. Mia didn't distance herself from previous statements of admiration for Combs, saying that the high highs at that point of her career and life seemed to make up for the low of lows. And, Mia already has talked about this, so I don't know why the defense, once again, is trying to hammer in on Mia about the positive post that she has posted. That would be like if I worked for David John, right? And, FUBU made a huge deal to open up FUBU stores in Simon malls around the country, right? But there's also a scandal about maybe somebody stealing a design, right? I can't post about that news, right? Because I work for David John and FUBU. So any internal court cases that are happening under FUBU's watch, I'm not able to post that, right? So, of course, as a company, you want to post the highs of highs and not the lows of lows, because social capital, how people perceive you, determines financial capital and how they invest in you. So, prosecution takes up redirect, asked Mia about Combs' social media presence. Combs' defense ended its cross-examination, allowing prosecutors to redirect Mia's testimony. Mia was asked about her work with Combs, which included managing all of his social media presence. She testified that if Combs did not feel as if she was doing her job, Mia would be punished and her job would have been threatened. This apparently included posting for Combs' birthday. As Mia told the court, she would have been in trouble if she did post. So, like I said, if you're running his social media presence, that means Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and really any other new platform that comes out. And so it could be what pops up every day. But even with that, like, the celebrity has to give final approval for it to be posted. 10 times out of 10, that social media manager does not just post just whatever, is applicable to that celebrity. It's usually a collaboration. So when a person likes your, sometimes when a person likes your post, sometimes it's not that celebrity, right? Sometimes it's that celebrity's representative or their social media manager. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. Like Nzinga Amani has liked many of my comments, and that's been her. So we'll just roll on with that. Mia iterates that Combs had threatened her life. Defense attorney Brian Steele revisited Mia's prior testimony of violence she says she endured while working for Combs, knowing that in 14 years, all she ever wrote about Combs were statements of admiration. Mia testified that there was a time where Combs slammed the door on her arm, and continued to apply pressure. That was yesterday's testimony when Combs grabbed Mia's phone because Mia was trying to make a call for Diddy. And so basically Mia tried to grab the phone, and then basically Diddy tried to slam the door on Mia's arm. And continued to apply pressure, leaving her bruised. She said that her only interaction with Combs' Human Resources was for them to enforce a punishment he wanted. Still recalled her prior testimony saying she was scared of being unalived, asking if there were times she felt that she could die at Combs' hands. Well, I mean, back to Kid Cudi, when they told Capricorn Clark, come with me, get ready, I'm going to take my pad, we're going on unalive Kid Cudi. So, yeah. Not to mention, too, there has been other people during this trial. It's only been 14 days, but a lot can happen in 14 days. And there's been a couple of people say, Diddy has threatened my job and my life. That's facts, right? So, my Lord Jesus. Mia told the court that he had threatened her life and physically assaulted her. Going back to Don Richard and the skillet being, thrown at Cassie, right? And also, too, that vacation in Turks and Caicos where Cassie and her best friend hid away from Diddy. So, yeah, that has happened. That Diddy has threatened people's lives, right? Mia says it wasn't clear to Ventura that she and Combs were not exclusive. Cross-examination, Mia moved into the former assistant's observations of Combs' relationship with Ventura, specifically whether Ventura was jealous of other women. She testified that in her experience, she only recalls Ventura being upset that she saw Combs with another woman while Ventura was filming in South Africa. Mia testified that the relationship was presented to Ventura as one of exclusivity between her and Combs. But once again for you Bujano people, and then once again for everybody else. But if I'm not mistaken, Diddy said, and I quote, that they're swingers and they can swap out partners, right? So when defense attorney Brian Steele noted that clearly wasn't true, Mia told the court it was not clear to her. Listen, Mia was there, Brian Steele was not. Need I say more? Defense hammering home ill myself message. Still revisit the ill myself text message by Mia, echoing what might be the defense strongest point of this cross-examination. But like in previous instances, still asking Mia about her praising Combs, the witness owned it and explained her mindset of wanting to remain employed by a defendant. My entire world was ripped away from me immediately, she said. And even if in hindsight that world was awful, I didn't know it at the time. That's why it felt like everything was ending. So, with that being said, like I said, I was on Nickelodeon, as you all know, y'all. We did a whole live on it. There's a short on in my YouTube shorts and on TikTok. When you finally make it to the pinnacle, right, of your career, or you finally smash that glass ceiling, and you're going back down the ladder, that can be very devastating because you've come accustomed to, being able to fly anywhere you want, being able to wake up and do what you want, do the projects you want, having the people around you that you want. Like, you are the head operator in charge, right? And so even if you don't make it to that big level, the fact that you're in somebody's orbit, right, and that orbit has provided you stability, safety, and security, that can be very mentally daunting of, oh my God, I did not have a backup plan for this. And for everybody asking, well, if it was so bad, then why did Mia leave? Well, we know that Captain Clark was a single mother who was trying to provide for her child. So, of course, she wasn't finding any other job paying higher than $55,000 a year, which, honestly, that's very cheap to be a personal assistant. I mean, I get, you don't want to pay taxes and all that stuff, but I would think at least $75,000 a year to be a personal assistant. Not $55,000, but hey, that's just me, though. Defense questions Mia over Ventura's work through the years. Rather, Mia was asked several questions about Ventura's work and life during her years with Combs, as the defense apparently tried to undermine prior witness implications, rather, that he's done Ventura's career. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Mia questions about Ventura obtaining modeling jobs, rather movie work, and even music she worked on with other artists such as Wiz Khalifa. Mia testified that all this was done with Combs' knowledge and consent. Prior witnesses have said that while Ventura recorded music while dating Combs, she was unable to release new albums as a part of her 10-album deal with Combs' record company. Ventura has one studio album which was released in 2006, and the mixtape was dropped in 2013. So I don't know what in the hell. See, this is the problem with the defense. They are trying to throw anything to the wall to see if it sticks, right? Ventura, right, got a 10-album deal. When I showed you guys the Culture Talk that I did with Pam and Jonda and Latrice. Latrice said that most record companies are not going to give you a 10-album deal. You have to work for it, right? So, like, let's just say if Braylon's virtual tour, for example, let me just do it like this here. So let's just say that if Braylon's virtual tour live was on Netflix, right? I'm probably only going to get a 1-season deal, maybe 2-season deal, because for one, there has been a lot of 2-season deals recently in Hollywood, but also two, I have some meat on the bones when it comes to me and my platform and what I've done, right? So it will only be 1 season for me, rather, because I am an unknown, but it will probably be a 2-season deal because not only am I unknown, but also two, I've done the work. But for Netflix to say, hey, we're going to put Braylon's virtual tour live on Netflix for 10 seasons as my first deal, there's no way that's happening. I'm sorry. Like, listen, for example, Lovely T TV came to Netflix, she could get a 3-4 season deal. Do you know why? She's got a million subscribers. She has more skin in the game, right? And she has showcased over the years a stability where I'm still new. See what I mean? So just wanted to bring that up. Okay, here. After she worked for Combs, Mia worked for Madonna. The witness says she went to work for Madonna after being let go from her job with Combs, revealing insinuations that she had not been employed and could be paired with the defendant in an 8-month stint with the Material Girl. Mia said she worked as an assistant in addition to the Icons film division. Mia said she secured the Madonna gig rather independently Combs helped the witness also accused Combs of reneging on helping her with a TV show she had developed. So I'm guessing that this show was for Revolt TV. I don't think Revolt TV had like Revolt Studios, where it was a studio. It was a production company where Revolt was creating shows and then selling shows to Hollywood platforms. I don't think Revolt Studios was around then. I know they had like Revolt Films, but I don't think they had like Revolt Studios. So there is that. One female juror appears skeptical of parts of Mia's testimony. One female juror was seen smiling and seemingly enjoyed defense attorney Brian Still's cross-examination of Mia. Sometimes the juror, while her eyes have furrowed her brow, appearing skeptical of Mia's testimony. Now, that's the first time that we have seen or have heard of one of the jurors showcasing emotion, because throughout the 13 days, it really hasn't been anything too crazy. I do remember Alron Wiggins, when he was on TMZ, that there were two jurors. The jurors saw a text message exchange, and in the text message it said it was a Nene Leakes meme that went bloop, and both jurors went bloop. So that was the first time that I've heard. Don't know about everybody else, but that was the first time that I heard that some of the jurors, were reflecting the tonality of what they were thinking. So the female juror was seen smiling, seemingly enjoying defense attorney Brian Still's cross-examination of Mia. So does that female juror have inclinations that they didn't do anything wrong, or did she take notes? And going back over her notes and looking down her notes and listening and, cross-examining Mia, from her vantage point, maybe she was like, see, I knew this was bullshit. So, could be possible. Court returns from lunch. Court has reconvened from its lunch break, and Mia will return to the witness stand to continue cross-examination. Prosecutors said Mia will stipulate that she has met with their team 28 times since 2023. Court adjourns for lunch. Judge Aaron Surin emptied the courtroom for the daily lunch break, telling everyone to be ready to return at 12:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. During the break, Sumerian said Mia will be given documents to refresh her memory about the numerous meetings she had with the government prior to trial. Mia says reasons she kept quiet about sexual assault allegations are privileged. Combs' defense pushed Mia about why she waited to tell the government about her allegations of sexual assaults against Combs, saying it took her about 7 to 8 months until she revealed the information to prosecutors. Mia told the court she doesn't remember the exact conversations, but she did not tell the government until she had retained legal representation. The reason and also, once again, the defense is dumb as shit. I saw somebody on YouTube to say, I saw a YouTuber today rather say that, the defense is, they're making some headway. No, they're not. They're not. They literally are attacking people's emotionality and their perspective of what they were actually in when the defense team was not there to verify. Nor were the prosecution, but at least the prosecution is recognizing everybody in the room, and the defense is recognizing nobody in the room, right? So, oh my Lord Jesus. And not to mention too, if we remember, Dawn Richard, right, that, she suppressed memories because there were too triggering for her. So that is a factor in giving testimony, right? That the memories can be very heavy, that you would mentally suppress them, so you won't have to remember them, right? And plus, not only that would have broke that attorney-client privilege, and that would have made the defense look weak more than they already are. Mia went to mediation and asked for $10 million after her departure from Combs' employment. Mia says she went to mediation and originally asked for $10 million. Still, the defense lawyer asked Mia if she demanded an 8-digit sum from a lawsuit. She responded that her claim against Combs went to mediation. That's where $10 million emerged as an opening position in negotiations. They eventually settled for $400,000. For lawyers retaining about half of that. So then Mia walked away with $200,000. Mia says she wanted to die with the secret of her abuse. Mia spoke to Cassie Ventura after Combs' former girlfriend filed her November 2023 lawsuit detailing sexual abuse allegations against him. But Mia testified that she did tell Ventura about her own experiences of sexual abuse from Combs. During that conversation, I was still deeply ashamed and wanted to die with this, Mia told the court. And also, too, I can imagine for Mia, see, it's one thing to be Cassie, right? And be the supposed girlfriend. I only say supposed girlfriend because it seemed like Cassie was more of the in-house concubine for Diddy rather than an actual girlfriend, right? But imagine you being the personal assistant to him and you have your own experiences and you want to tell this person, right, that's also had these experiences, but you don't know how she will take it. So that can be very triggering. You know what I mean? Combs put a tracking device on Ventura's car. Mia says Mia told the court that she felt horrible, that she felt terrible rather about covering for Combs with Ventura, his former girlfriend, but felt that if she did, he would have taken his access. He would have taken away his access to her. Mia testified that Combs would find out because he stole their phones and put tracking devices on Ventura's car. She added that she wasn't sure what Combs was capable of and reiterated that she was terrified. So, to put a tracking device on Ventura's car is toxic, is dangerous, and is trifling behavior because last time I checked, I don't think there was any tracking device on Diddy's car. Last time I checked. And what boggles my mind is this. If it ain't cool for a woman to abuse a man, it's not cool for a man to abuse a woman. Point blank at the period. To put a tracking device on someone's car, if you gotta do that, that means you shouldn't be with them. Because that means you don't trust them at all. Child. You put a tracking device on Ventura's car, but yet all of this shit that you've done's been tracked. Mia admits that she didn't tell Ventura everything. The witness says she was very close to Cassie Ventura, but admitted not telling Combs' girlfriend everything she could have. Mia conceded that she didn't tell Ventura about Combs' alleged sexual assault on her. She also said that she would keep the music moments whereabouts from Ventura under his orders. I remember covering for him and feeling terrible about it. Well, because if she said anything, then her job was threatened, as we have found out from many witnesses. Prosecution scolds defense for tone of questioning. Prosecutor Maureen Comey alerts Marion that she felt Combs' defense was mistreating Mia, accusing Brian of humiliating her on the witness stand. Comey laid out concerns that still sarcasm and suggestions that Mia is lying or border or harassment, and that still is added to Mia's trauma. But Samarian did not agree that still was mistreating Mia, but he did agree that the questions have been argumentative and cumulative in nature. The judge said he heard Comey's concerns and that he would be on the lookout for offensive conduct. He added that the government will alert the court if it found any. Samarian warned still that he can ask a question and move on, but that if he feels still is asking something just to get something out there, he will step in. I will say, I do love how this judge is being very understanding, but also being by the book. And that's not easy to do. And Brian Steele, from what we have seen here, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's not. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, Brian, you done went to law school, has a law degree. You don't have one, Braylon, da. Okay, is that supposed to hurt me or something, you dumb fucks? Like, really? Like, it boggles my mind how people will defend somebody's bad behavior of disrespect to somebody, but yet in real life, you don't stand for shit your damn self. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Brian Steele's a dumb piece of shit, and so is that whole defense team that he has. And what? Mia briefly shown on courtroom feed. The witness face was briefly shown during a internal courthouse feed, though the error did not elicit any reaction in the courtroom for about 30 seconds. A camera showed Mia, who was testifying under pseudonym, despite a judge's order that her face not be shown or even drawn by courtroom sketch artists, where her face was shown in a feed to an overflow room. Prosecution did not lodge an immediate objection. Mia was scared of Combs when he was scary, she says. Mia is still getting pushed by the defense for years with friendly communications with Combs, despite her testimony that she feared him. Another text from Mia, this time from December 2022, in which she wished Combs happy holiday season, was shown to the courtroom. The defense pointed out that Mia has told the jury that she did not want to see Combs because she feared him. Mia was asked whether she was scared of Combs the entire time she knew him, including 2019 and 2022. I was very scared of him. I was scared of him when he was scary, yes. And here are the text messages here. Now, I know what the defense is trying to do. They're trying to make it all 15 cents and say that, well, if you were scared of him, why would you text him? And I would like to see the defense team's text messages of people that maybe they had a tumultuous friendship with. I would like to see some of the family members' text messages or the exchange between their family members, and to see if there's any discrepancies at all of just because you can't stand somebody doesn't mean you don't wish them happy holiday season. Like, come on. They're grasping for straws just to win this case, and they're looking tired. It's because they are tired. Ooh, child. And this case is supposed to end on July 4th. So basically this month, and then by Friday, July 4th, which by the way is the first day of the Essence Festival, in New Orleans, Louisiana, we will have a verdict. Oh Lord. Mia says she was terrified at brainwash, making her hesitant to come forward. The witness said she was terrified at brainwash, preventing her from coming forward earlier with allegations of sexual assault against Combs. When defense attorney Brian Steele asked me if she had a moral obligation to report to Combs immediately, she said she did, because I was terrified of brainwash. It was only when others came forward publicly that Mia elected to do so too. It's been a long process, she said. I'm still untangling these things. I'm in therapy. And if y'all remember, one of Diddy's men actually called Mia to try to let her know, like, hey, listen, don't say nothing. So yeah, just like Witness 3, allegedly Gina, did not testify in court because, according to Gene Steele, she was a hostile witness and she also got paid off by Diddy. So to each their own when it comes to people, give it their perspective on things. Defense tries to undermine sexual assault allegations. Mia says she was brainwashed. Defense attorney Brian Steele pushed me about her testimony last week, during which she said Combs sexually assaulted her, asking point blank whether the sexual assault testimony was true. I would not lie in this courtroom, Mia said. I never lied in this courtroom. Everything I have said is true. Steele has shown the court multiple messages from Mia to Combs from 2018 to 2020 after she stopped working for Combs, in which she expressed love and good memories. In one message from August 2020, she wrote that the only things to remember were the good times. Mia told the court that Combs had brainwashed her. She testified that the environment she was in was filled with highs of highs and lows of lows. Mia testified that she was always seeking Combs' approval. And to use a quote that was said early in the trial, this is Combs' kingdom and we all serve him. So that lines up with what Mia is saying about seeking his approval. Mia says, I never recorded Combs during an outburst. Despite her near constant contact with Combs while she worked for him, Mia admits she doesn't have any video of music mogul during one of his fits of rage. But I'm sure that's to come, because if they got text messages and they got that Cassidy, I'm sure that there's a video of his fits of one of his fits of rage or the audio of his fits of rage. Mia also conceded that she doesn't have a text message to a friend to know any violent outbursts by Combs. The witness testified that she would have made such documentation because doing so would have broken trust and confidentiality with her employer at the time. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when you are a peon and he controls the chessboard. You play your role, so that makes a lot of sense to me. Mia reached out to Combs because she felt bad about Kim Porter's death. She says, when questioned about apparently loving texts Mia sent to Combs in late 2018 throughout 2019, she testified that she felt bad for Combs after the death of Kim Porter. Porter, who was with Combs for years and the mother of 3 of his children, died in 2018 from pneumonia. Combs' defense showed texts from following that time in which Mia wrote that she loved Combs and dreamed of her as her savior months after Porter's death. Mia told the court that she didn't think 5 months was a long time to recover from grief, that she had yet understood what had happened to her while working for Combs. She knew that there was a version of Combs who cared for her. And we also remember that from Cassie's testimony of that he was a kind person when he was a kind person, but when he was mean, and that he had mood swings. So we all remember that. And also, too, like, I don't know what's going on with this defense team. Like I said, I'm sorry to the moms and dads, the brothers and sisters, the family members who are related to these wastes of life on the defense team. But it seems to me that the defense team is devoid of humanity, right? Of that, just because somebody did something to you doesn't mean that you can't have empathy, right? Because even though Cassie's not my family member, I feel horrible for her. And it's just like, I don't know where we are in society that unless it happens to us, we shouldn't give a fuck about it. But God forbid we bring up the question, what if this happened to your mother? What if this happened to your wife? What if this happened to your daughter? What if this happened to your cousin? What would happen if this was your niece, your grandma? And then people get big mad like, don't you bring up my female family members? You know that's a lie that you don't need to cross. Hold on a second. You just played yourself. Because you just didn't give 2 damn fucks or ish about Cassie, but now you want to care about your female family members. You see the black dads and black hearts, see the black imagination you have? Like I said, it boggles my mind. Men and women saying, I think the defense team might be trying to get on to something. Let's just hope that what Cassie and all these people went through, a 5th quarter or a half doesn't happen to you, your partner, or your kids, or anybody that you care about. Because my Lord Jesus, it doesn't matter when somebody else, but when it gets to your front door, oh, please help me, please, oh, Father God, help me. I need the sympathy squad. I need the recovery team. I need some mental health experts. Keep that same fucking energy to all the bitches and midgets defended this shit. Or feeling like maybe, just maybe, he might get away with it. The defense is doing something with it. One way, but so if your dog came home and said that she got SA, would you be like, well, I don't know how to feel about that. I'm kind of feeling one way or another about you going through something traumatic. Okay. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Oh, child. Mia nightmare trapped in elevator with R. Kelly. The defense introduced a text message from Mia to Combs in which she told the defendant that he once in a nightmare saved her from R. Kelly. Okay, this is the first time R. Kelly's been mentioned in this trial. Jesus, here we go. The defense introduced a text message from Mia to Combs in which she told the defendant that he once in a nightmare saved her from R. Kelly. Mia said in a January 15th, 2019 text message that she had a terrible dream of being trapped in an elevator with the convicted sex criminal, but then Combs came and rescued me. Judge Sumerian sustained a government objection, thus preventing Mia from answering why her alleged attacker Combs was framed as a savior in her dream. However, the defense still made its point to jurors that despite the allegations Mia has made against Combs, there were times where she held him in the highest esteem. Because once again, to the dumb fucking ass defense team, she was an employee for Combs. Like, so let me ask this to the defense team. Do y'all not hold each other in a high esteem? At all? At all. I mean, really. I mean, it just seems like this defense team are just angels from heaven. They never dance with the devil at all. And by the way, I'm not wishing any bad will on anybody's son or daughter or niece, cousin, nephew, mother, wife, sister, brother, grandma, grandpa. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. And I hate to take it there to make it personal, but it just seems like some of y'all dumb fucks really don't get it. So we gotta make it personal for you to understand the magnitude of how fucked up this shit is. Child, when a 30-year-old has more sense than grown women and grown men out here, it's a fucking damn sad piece of shit day. Defense begins by having Mia go over her qualifications and thick skin. Defense attorney Brian still opened his line of questioning today by having Mia go over her resume, asking whether she remembered telling Combs that she was multitasking, worked well under pressure, and had thick skin. Mia told Steele that she doesn't remember Ryan that she had thick skin. He later asked her if she thought of herself as a leader, which Mia didn't quite know how to respond to. She did agree that she speaks up for herself and that she could multitask under pressure. When asked directly if she had thick skin, Mia said she thought she did. What in the flying fuck does Mia's resume have to do with this case? Not a damn thing. When you are applying for a job, you post the best of you on a resume so you can get to the door. I would like to see Brian Steele's resume. Truly. Does Brian Steele multitask well? Does Brian Steele work under pressure? Does Brian Steele have thick skin? Like, you post the best of you to get the job. Shut up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Brian Steele is the Ray J of lawyers. I mean, my Lord Jesus. Just say anything just to look like you're doing something. Child, I cannot. Mia takes the witness stand again. The key prosecution witness, Mia, took the stand this morning for the defense's cross-examination. She wore a blouse, slacks, and a jacket as jurors filed into the courtroom. Hotel security manager focused the Fifth Amendment. Eddie Garcia, security advisor at the Los Angeles hotel where Combs was filmed attacking Cassie Ventura, briefly took the witness stand to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. The appearance was highly procedural, just so Garcia could put that request on the record and prompt the government to assure him that he's free from prosecution as long as he testifies truthfully. Garcia left the witness stand, but is expected to return later today. Defense is raising its attack on alleged victim Mia. U.S. District Court Judge R. Surian denied defense efforts to show Mia drinking and having fun on vacation as Combs team previewed its line of attack on the key government witness. Defense attorney Brian Steele said the footage from Honduras will go to his argument that Mia was let go from Combs Enterprises because of alcohol abuse. But did Cassie say that Diddy had a drug problem and he also drunk alcohol too? Like, this is the problem, right? Like, he or she who has to send Cass the first out. And by the way, Mia's not on trial. It's Diddy on trial. Oh, my Lord Jesus. But Sumerian sided with the prosecution, which claimed that footage of Mia doing shots would be more prejudicial than probative. And not to mention, too, like, Diddy threw parties all the time. So even on downtime, right? How can I say it? When they weren't working, they had downtime. They probably took shots. I mean, hell, Diddy owned Ciroc and De Leon tequila at the time. So the fuck? Oh, my Lord Jesus. Who is expected to testify today? Week 4 of Combs' trial will begin with witness Mia, who used to work for Combs, returning to the stand for a third day defense cross-examination, followed by a redirect for prosecutors. The following witnesses are also expected today: Marik Santos and Eddie Garcia, who are expected to testify with Mia, Sylvia Orkin, a hotel custodian, and Frank Piazza, a forensic video expert. Court is in session. Court is now in session for day 14 of Combs' racketeering and trafficking trial. A criminal enterprise may be emerging in Combs' trial. Testimony by Combs' former employees could prop up the prosecution's case that the music mogul allegedly oversaw a criminal enterprise that relied on employees and other accomplices to carry out legal acts. So for those of you who don't know, racketeering charges, RICO charges, a lot of people say, I don't really see the criminal enterprise happening. Here it is from NBC News. Let me zoom in for all the dumb fucks in the back who say that Diddy has not done anything wrong. A criminal enterprise may be emergent in Combs' trial. Let me spell it out. ACRIMALENTERPRISE MEMERGINCOMBS''TRIAL. Is that enough slowness for y'all in the back? Okay, good. We welcome everybody over here. Testimony by Combs. Listen, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Testimony by Combs' former employees could also prop up the prosecution's case that the music mogul allegedly oversaw a criminal enterprise that relied on employees and other accomplices to carry out illegal acts. Capital Clark, the former assistant to the music mogul, said Combs was on a revenge mission in December 2011 after learning rapper Kid Cudi was also dating his girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie. But y'all were on a break. And once again, you're the one, Diddy, that said that y'all were swingers, that y'all could exchange out partners anytime you wanted. But she couldn't date Kid Cudi. She couldn't date Michael B. Jordan. You got upset with her for flirting with a waitress at a restaurant. You got upset with Don Richard for talking to Cassie about her artistry when she was a music artist under your label with a 10-album deal. Child. Oh, my Lord. Clark testified last week that Combs, armed with a POW, commanded her to go with him to Cudi's Hollywood Hills estate. And the exact words are, "Come with me. We're about to kill Kid Cudi." That was Captain Clark's words. Another accuser who used the pseudonym Mia on the witness stand testified that she worked for Combs. She worked as Combs' personal assistant for several years and alleged that he sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions during that time. Combs was never charged in the firebombing or the alleged sexual assaults. Mia struck a respectful but defiant tone on the stand Friday. During her time on stand Friday, she readily acknowledged that she lavished praise and admiration on Combs in emails, texts, and photo captions over the years. Even after he allegedly abused her on the stand, Mia came across as confident, far less subdued than she was during pivotal parts of Thursday's testimony. Combs seemed interested in his defense lawyer, led Mia through various Instagram posts during the cross-examination. At one point, he put on his glasses and leaned toward the monitor to get a closer look. Motherfucker, that was you. That's why I put in my thumbnail. Motherfucker, why you need glasses? Was that you or not? It was like, I've slept since then, but that could be me. I don't know. Yes. I recognize I was wearing a burgundy paisley shirt that day, not a green paisley shirt. Yes. The fuck? 47 isn't ruling out a pardon for Combs. President 47 on Friday revealed that he isn't ruling out a pardon for Combs, even though he has not paid attention to anything of the case. But this dumb fuck of a waste of life, who said you can grab him by the pussy on a tape that you can easily access, also got charged for, sexually assaulting a woman in a dressing room in New York City and has to pay $8.9 million. And also, 2, he defrauded construction crews and did not pay them. Him and his dad discriminated against black people from renting apartments, wanted Central Park 5 to die. Also used campaign funds to pay off Stormy Daniels, got impeached twice, caused an insurrection. But yeah, he's going to look at the facts. Okay. When asked whether he would consider taking that step, 47 told reports in the Oval Office that nobody's asked, but that he would certainly look at the facts. 47 added that he hasn't seen or spoken to Combs in years. He wasn't following the trial closely. So why are you speaking about it? Shall anything to remain relevant? Oh, you're closer to the grave to die than the cradle to live life. So sad. Or to start life, rather. Mia is set to return to the stand. Diddy's former personal assistant, a woman identified in court by pseudonym Mia, is set to return to the stand today after 2 days of testimony. Mia has accused Diddy of sexual assault and other physical violence. Her allegations of forced labor are especially crucial for the U.S. government's racketeering conspiracy against the rapper. On Friday, Mia was aggressively cross-examined by one of Diddy's lawyers who attempted to undermine her account. The defense lawyer confronted her with pictures of social media posts that appeared to show the ex-assistant enjoying her years working for the wealthy mogul. Mia pushed back during cross-examination, insisting that seemingly carefree Instagram photos did not reflect her misery. Right, because guess what? You're not going to post the misery of you. You're going to post the joy of you, right? So that is everything that happened during the 14th day of the Diddy trial there. So, of course, we have some dynamic video to add some context here. Here's Kara Phillips from ABC News Live. Here, let's get in. Here we go.
The aggressive cross-examination of Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant continues. Mia, who's testifying under a pseudonym, returned to the witness stand in the music mogul's sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Combs' defense team is appearing to suggest that Mia didn't claim that Combs sexually assaulted her until Cassie Ventura filed a civil lawsuit against him. Mia has denied these accusations from Combs' defense team. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges and denies any wrongdoing. Legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer joining me now from outside court there in New York City. Brian, the defense is working hard to portray Mia as an unreliable witness. In your opinion, is it working?
So, yes and no, and I'm sorry to give you the legal answer, Kira, and this is why I say that. I don't think the defense has gotten to a point where we can call Mia an unreliable witness, but I do think they are working towards the idea that some of what she's saying can be questioned. Specifically, they're looking at these allegations and putting them next to these messages that even some days after the alleged sexual assault and rape of Mia by Sean Combs, all the way up until 3.5 years, she's still sending these loving messages. And it's her explanations that I think are raising a few eyebrows as to why she kept doing that. But I think people are starting to say that doesn't quite make sense. But I still do believe, based on what she's saying and how she's reacting, that she is a victim of trauma. So that question mark often favors the defense, but I don't think it's fair, to say that Mia is an unreliable witness.
So Mia testified that she was brainwashed by Combs. Is that testimony helpful to explain the reason she may have sent those loving messages?
If it's helpful to anyone, I think it's probably more helpful for the defense. And I'm just going to quickly read my notes right here because it was somewhat jumbled and confusing. And that's why I think confusion for a victim is helpful to the defense. She said the reason why she was brainwashed, or the meaning of brainwashed to her, was that she was in an environment where the highs were really high and the lows were really low. She couldn't trust her instincts, that she was punished for the work that she'd done, and she worked to get into a good place. And she was trying to just, I guess, trained to react to make sure you keep Sean Combs happy. And if you don't, you get punished and argued. And she was consistently seeking his approval, and that he was the only authority figure that she really knew. And she said that, and that sounded great. But then Brian Steele came back and said, yeah, but you sent these messages 3.5 years after your employment with Sean Combs. You sent messages when Chadwick Boseman had passed away. You sent messages to highlight the anniversary of Kim Porter's death. Why would you still do that when you're no longer in Sean Combs' environment? And she didn't have much of an explanation for that. So again, I think a reliable witness, but raise some eyebrows.
Brian Buckmeyer there in New York for us. Brian, thank you. And make sure to catch our daily show on this trial, Burden of Proof, the case against Diddy. It airs every night, 5:30 Eastern, right here on ABC News Live. Also, you can check out Brian's podcast, Bad Rap, the case against Diddy. You can get daily updates there as well.
Thank you, Kira Phillips and Brian Studmeyer there. From People Magazine, people.com, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Suge Knight's name has been mentioned 50 times during Diddy's trial. Here's what he had to say. Sean Diddy Combs' longtime rival Suge Knight is currently incarcerated after a 2015 hit and run. Now, for those of you who don't know, Suge Knight has said, and I quote, that Diddy should be free. Yes, you heard me correctly. The person that could have been unalived by Diddy, right? Because we know that Cassie and Diddy's team went to Mel's Diner, and child, this is just crazy. I'm trying to zoom in. Oh, nope, trying to zoom in. Sorry, why is it not letting me zoom in? On delay? No, it's not on delay. It's just not letting me zoom in. Okay, never mind, y'all. Okay, never mind. It's not letting me zoom in. Okay. But yeah, basically he said that Diddy should be free. So the person that could have unalived him, he wants Diddy to be free. Crazy, right? Suge Knight has spoken out after his name was mentioned several dozen times during the federal sex trafficking trial of his longtime rival, Sean Diddy Combs, who co-founded iconic West Coast label Death Row Records, is currently serving a 28-year prison sentence in California after pleading no contest to voluntary manslaughter in 2018 in connection with a 2015 hit and run during Combs' high-profile trial. Nate has been referenced several times, particularly regarding an incident when Combs allegedly went to confront his rival after he was spotted at a Los Angeles diner. Following the numerous mentions of the West Coast mogul's name, ABC News spoke tonight, and he provided his thoughts on the serious allegations Combs now face. The outlet reported that Knight's name has been mentioned at least 50 times during the trial. If you're going to make Combs answer, make everyone answer, Knight told ABC in reference to the allegations that the Bad Boy Records founder leveraged their careers in exchange for sexual favors. Combs is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He pled not guilty. I think it'll be a great thing to let Puffy tell his truth. Knight told ABC, tell the real truth, bring everybody accountable. Similarly, Knight told CNN that he believes Combs should take the stand at his trial. I feel like if he tells his truth, he would really walk. Knight told CNN if Combs goes up there and says, hey, I did all the drugs, I wasn't in control of my life, I wasn't in control at the time, or myself, he could humanize his whole self and then the jury might give him a shot. But here's the thing with that Suge Knight, and I would ask Suge Knight this. When it came to that hit and run that happened for him, there we go. That way we can get a little bit clearer of a picture there. When that hit and run happened, right? Did you bring everybody who was accountable to that hit and run, or was that you on the stand? Were you on trial? Did you get charged? And that's what it is, right? So yes, there are accomplices, but I'm sure that there are some people that have flipped on Diddy to get lesser charges. John Scott, who was on Remixed in Politics and Culture with Pam, that Culture Talk that was on with Pam, Jonda, and Latrice. Jonda said that there are people that have probably flipped on Diddy. So guess what? Those people may deal. Some people are going to go to jail. Some people will not go to jail. But you won't hear about that. But the person who approved all of it was Diddy. So, I mean, far be it for me to argue with a man who allegedly sticks a butter up people's behinds. Yeah, if you missed out on this morning show, Ray J said that him, Suge Knight, and other people went to the store. Let me flip the reverse around it back. So, it's just crazy. So, Ray J and some people went to the store on behalf of Suge Knight, and got 25 sticks of butter, 25 pounds of butter, and would stick sticks of butter up men and women's behinds and have fun with them. That's what Ray J said on Twitch. So far be it for me to argue with a man who sticks of butter up people's assholes. Allegedly. But bruh. In his interview with ABC, Knight also referenced Combs' alleged mistreatment of his subordinates. Don't get me wrong, he did terrible things, but he didn't just come up with those stuff and those ideas on his own. I don't get the fact of how this is your rival and that you're making a case for him. I just don't get it. Child. Knight told ABC, I don't feel that they should take Puffy and lock him up and throw away the key. I think he can do so much good right now, him telling the truth about the industry. Suge Knight thinks that Diddy telling about the industry will work out in Diddy's favor. Is he watching the same trial we are? Okay. I'm sorry to Suge Knight's mom, dad, every family member that's related to that dumb fuck. What? What the hell? Knight also told the outlet that he had sympathy for Combs, who could face life in prison if convicted. I feel that people in Combs' life going on his journey growing up, they failed him, Knight said. Do I think he made some mistakes? I think he repeats what he's seen. He repeats what he learned. Is that the defense you use for that hit and run? First thing I would tell Combs is this: I'm not going through what he's going through for his freak-offs, Knight further told ABC, but I've been sitting in those cells and I know that he feels that he don't have a friend in the world. Well, when you've allegedly done what you've done, then why do you deserve a friend at all? I'm just saying. But that was the wonderfully smart, brilliant, and articulate Suge Knight, said no one ever. Moving on to hiphopdx.com here. There is a person that has something to say, and that would be Snoop Dogg, ladies and gentlemen. Snoop Dogg admits being very surprised by Diddy's trial. Snoop Dogg has admitted to being very surprised while following Diddy's sex trafficking trial. Speaking on the Shade Room Live, Snoop was asked if he had found himself surprised by the situation Diddy has found himself in. The dog father replied, very surprised. I'm also surprised. I don't expect none of these things to be happening. Snoop then appeared to explain how he seeks to be a better boss to his employees than someone like Diddy. So let's see.
You've been able to see it all. Are you surprised at what is happening with Diddy right now?
Very surprised. I'm ultimately surprised. Like, I don't be expecting none of this type of things to be happening. You know, like I say, when I was given my position of power and given my position of, leadership, I like to take advantage of it and treat people good and make sure that people that work with me don't feel like they work for me. And when they're ready to leave, and if we have a misunderstanding, if there is a separation, it's ended on love. It's never bad vibes or anything of that nature. So I try to be a better boss based off of the bosses that I was around when I was just an employee or just an artist. So I try to take the good things that they did and subtract the bad things that they did. Some of the things I didn't know what they did because I was only entitled to certain information as an artist or a friend. So as a businessman, I've learned to just be good to people because I know what it feels like to have bad business done on you and to have bad contracts. So I try to give my people that I do business with a great experience. So that way, at the end of the day, we feeling good about each other and we don't have to end up facing each other, talking about how bad we treated each other.
Very well said. I think that's the CEO of the Shade Room there. He said, given my position of leadership, I like to take advantage of it, treat people good, and make sure people that work with me don't feel like they work for me. And when they're ready to leave, and if we have a misunderstanding, if there's separation, it's in their own love. It's never bad vibes or anything of that nature. Snoop has not previously commented on Diddy's legal issues. but has plenty to say about his old boss label Suge Knight. Listen, this is the song title, so YouTube, don't at me. Shut your bitch ass up. That's the title of the track, which features on Snoop's surprise new album. Rather, Is It a Crime? Sees the dog file, so throws serious accusations at Suge. Snoop raps, I can see why you mad. I bought everything you own. Now you said NPC snitch on the phone. Oh my Lord Jesus. Oh, public population. What does PC mean? It's not public population, but public something. I think, don't quote me though. The West Coast legend continues, but I can slap the taste out your motherfucking mouth. Pull up on your end. Make sure you want to reroute. If he hit the main line, he's going to see what we about. Oh, bitch ass in. I'm a rich ass in. Damn, Snoop still got it in you. Okay, then the Death Row Records founder, the Death Row Records co-founder, recently tore into his one-time signing for his treatment of the historic label, since he bought in 2012. Snoop, you said I'm mad because you bought Death Row. What did you buy? Show me the paperwork. Show me what you own. He said, the art of dialogue. Then he went into detail about how Diddy's Doggy Style label didn't take off, and then added, and you were already Def Jam. Did you do anything good for Def Jam? Absolutely not. Now you want to start with something that has nothing to do with you. You're going backwards. You want to try to create something that should not create. But instead of going big, you disappoint the world, making sure everything flops. Well, I don't know about that, because Snoop Dogg was in Paris for NBC. He was getting paid boatloads of money representing the United States. So Snoop Dogg was in Paris. Meanwhile, your ass is behind bars. So who's really doing good? Anyway, I'm going to turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for an hour. Yes, we have. Woo! A lot going on there. 14th day of the Diddy trial there. A lot going on for sure. Woo, man, at the beginning, middle, end of the day, this comes down to principle and what you think about morality, right? And I think some people are missing that, right? I mean, people are in their camp. Some people are in Diddy's camp. Some people are in the camp of hell no. But I truly do think that at some point in time, we have lost our way of standing up for what is right just to look like we are cool with the in crowd. It's a damn shame. It truly is a damn shame. Like I said, I don't know where our moral compass has gone, but it seems like it's a rarity to find people that actually are about doing right and not just doing anything just to exist on social media or in the world. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it all. And like I said, of course you can question Mia, but I dare you to find another person that, they have not been through some trauma, right? And to criticize someone's trauma because you don't understand mental health is real, that's more your fault than theirs. So, listen, I will believe Mia before I believe Brian Steele. So, it is what it is. I understand you got to ride for your client because he paid you a lot of money, but no matter how much money you get paid, no matter how many resources you have, if that jury says he's guilty on all 5 counts, y'all will be the sorriest defense team that has ever walked into a courtroom. Ever. I would assume that defense, that verdict is read. You guys no longer have careers in the law world, that nobody wants to work with you, nobody wants to hire you, and you have no more connections. I would assume so, based on this experience, because this experience has some serious allegations that you guys are being attack dogs not caring about mental health, not caring about hit trauma. But most of all, you seem to lack the morals of understanding that decency and order and respect should be happening everywhere. And that there are consequences for what you do. That's what it seems like to me. So the prosecution is whooping ass, the defense is losing. But they were born losers probably in the first place anyway. Like I said, sorry to the moms and dads, to the brothers and sisters and everybody who's related to those fucking wastes of life of the defense team, or the fucking wastes of lives that are on the defense team. So anyway, y'all can take it for what it is. You saw the thumbnail, you know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. And like I said, even though I am calling the defense team a waste of life, I'm not wishing hell on them. You know what I mean? I'm not hoping that they, are ending up in this, that, or the third. I'm just keeping it a buck of, yeah, they are really doing the most to defend Diddy, because to do this much, bruh, would you defend Diddy if he did this to any females that you know in your family? And that's the real. So we're gonna take a little commercial break. We'll be back right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward,
with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination, an experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and Mira's commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
When we start a project, we always start with story. That story is key. So we began with the story of the Waturi people. The myth of the Waturi people is that long ago, they set out on their outrigger canoes looking for a new home. There was a legend that said they could only find this new home with the help of this many golden-finned fish called kanuku. And they searched across Pacifica and Polynesia, and they visited all these islands. They went to Bali and Tahiti and went as far as Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Along the way, they made friends, collected sort of the culture, and they sailed on and on and on, and they almost to the edge of the world. There, to their amazement, was Kanuku. And she turned to the people and said, "You are ready." Turned and swam away. They followed, and within a day, they caught sight of this smoking mountain on the horizon, which was Volcano Bay. And it was pristine, beautiful, lush, everything that they would want in a home. And that's the backstory that informs everything we do in our design. The idea here is to create the best experience. We know what our guests want. They want the thrill and excitement of our theme parks, but they also want a place where they can relax and chill out and feel pampered. Nobody wants to stand in line. And so we said, let's get rid of them. Nobody wants to carry rafts up a ride tower all the way to the top. So we said, let's do that for you. Exhilaration and excitement and relaxation. That's what you're gonna get at Volcano Bay.
For Ramirez? Wingstop's triple meal deal. 6 classics, 6 boneless, and 2 tenders with 2 dips and a large fry for just $17.99. Get yours delivered today at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I'm loving y'all right back. Welcome back into Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here. 14th day of the Diddy trial. We covered everything of Mia. We also got some dynamic commentary from Brian Studmeyer, who was live outside the courthouse in New York City, courtesy of ABC News. Thought about Suge Knight being mentioned 50 times in the case, and also too how Snoop Dogg is not. It is very surprised by what's happening. So, a lot of actual, factual, smactual things going on in the world. Oh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. But yeah, we're just chilling out. Like I said, coming up here at 8:30. For those of you looking for your Real Housewives. My voice is sounding good. That's good. Like I said, for those of you who are looking for a Real Housewives of Atlanta review, believe me, we will be talking about that at 8:30 p.m. Yes, indeed. So we'll be doing that here in just a little bit. I watched it on my downtime today. So yeah, a lot going on. And then, of course, as you guys know, we are reviewing 90 Day Fiance Hunt for Love. By the way, y'all were so amazing. I ended the review and was like at 200 views, I think, or something like that. Now it's at 1,300 views. So thank y'all for that. I'm definitely loving 90 Day Fiance Hunt for Love. 90 Day Fiance, it's tricky because sometimes you'll have cast members get on your nerves, but it looks like it's a good cast. It's like it's a good premise. So we will definitely be reviewing that show for sure. And I was about to say, I think the Virgin show is coming up on June 9th, I think, on TLC. So I think I'll be reviewing that show as well. So we have a lot of content to come. And like I said, we got this month, and then we have July for the Diddy trial. And then after that, the trial will be over. It's going to be interesting to see the fallout and see everybody's reactions on that particular day, because I feel like for everybody who maybe is not covering the trial every day, I feel that by the time we get to July 4th, it will be a very cultural moment of where were you when Diddy got sentenced guilty or not guilty. Now, of course, I say guilty or not guilty because that's the court of law. But in the court of opinion, he's guilty as fuck. So, it is what it is, right? So, should be interesting. So, but yeah, we're just here chilling out. Glad to have all you here. Yes, indeed. So tight. Two people in the building. Thank y'all for being here. Like I said, if you guys got any questions about the Diddy trial, let me know in the comment. Let me know in the comment section below what you're thinking about the trial and the replay game. Also, too, if you're here, type in the live chat of what you think as well. We'd love to hear your point of view. Yes, indeed. Here, I think we'll probably wrap it up at probably 1 hour and 30 minutes here. But yeah, here for not a long time, but a good enough time. So I'm trying to keep the Diddy recaps to an hour and 30 minutes. So that way, not only is it consumable for everybody, but also too, it can be easily clipped. So that way, if you guys are looking for a summary or the highlights from this live, all you gotta do is go to my YouTube shorts, and they are all there. So, and by the way, thank y'all for watching the shorts. I know it was like one day I wasn't doing shorts, and then boom, I was just doing them. And y'all have definitely been digging into those shorts. So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much for that. So yes, indeed. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. All right, enjoy your dinner. Love you as always. Talk soon. Thank you again for being here. Glad you enjoyed the recap. So that's the thing with this trial is that, you don't, I gotta put this, everybody is sensitive to some capacity. But the way I'm coming from this, or the way that I'm covering this, rather, the way I'm coming about this is from a social, cultural point of view. Media, pop culture, right? I'm not covering it from the law side. Go to Pam Esquire, go to the attorney, go to people that actually do this. Okay. But culturally, you need to hear that perspective too. So that's what I do. Because child, for some of y'all with y'all favorite YouTubers, you want them to know everything. It's like, no, we don't know what we don't know. And that should be okay. Because in life, we don't know everything either. You know what I mean? So. GreatDay.com. All right, here is the Daily Motivator right here. Decision is a risk rooted in the courage of being free, from Paul Tillich. Very well said. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Energy boost. When your energy is being wasted, you end up feeling drained. That's a decision that you make. Choices are yours and yours alone. Good luck. Words of all life from lips to the temple. When your energy is being put to purposeful use, you feel exhilarated. If you lack a sense of energy, what you're likely noticing is a lack of meaningful focus. Well, if you don't have vision, you don't have nothing to focus on. Fortunately, that's something that you can quickly and dramatically change, unless there's nothing good in you to produce, because you're not good yourself as a person. Stand up straight, take a deep breath, and focus your thoughts on something you're profoundly thankful for. You'll immediately notice positive energy rushing into your awareness. It's not just a parlor trick, it's a real transformation. It's a visceral demonstration of your ability to improve your state and increase your energy anytime you decide to do so. Other catalysts such as music, physical activity, and a change of environment can have similar transformative impacts. One way or another, get yourself into a positive, purposeful state, and then there's no limit to what you can achieve. You have the power to quickly boost your energy and focus your efforts. Remind yourself of it often and put it to great use. You know, there was something that I did at the end of every edition of Brayley's Virtual Tour Live, or Dr. B's Crib. Child, this is Brayley's Virtual Tour Live. I meant to say on Dr. B's Crib Almost Live. Well, I'll say, now that's how you do a motherfucking damn show. I would literally clap my hands and say that after I felt it was a good show. If I can't feel exhilarated from what I did, then what was the point of doing it, right? You only have one life. So the first thing I tell you is make sure that by the end of what you did, you feel like it was worth it for you, right? There are going to be times where you're going to be like, oh my God, why am I doing this? And believe me, there are times where I'm doing this YouTube channel, I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this? But then I recognize, like, you know what? The assignment is bigger than me, right? So I look at it as I am basically a black Netflix giving you new content every single day. And also to showcasing the possibilities of what we can be, not just what society says we can. So that's the first thing I tell you. Is make sure that you feel good about what you do, right? The second thing I'll tell you is focus your thoughts on something you're profoundly thankful for. In order to be profoundly thankful, you have to be a thankful person, right? And my mom, I'll never forget what she said when she said, Braylon and Sis and my sister's name, if we're not grateful for what we have with this house, why would God bless us with another one, right? So why would God give you something to be ungrateful for when you're already ungrateful for what you have? Just give it a buck. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not human, that you don't have gripes and complaints and frustrations, right? Because my Lord Jesus, if you meet a person who's never did any of that, please introduce them to me so I can figure out how to regulate my soul. But sincerely, though, have a joyful heart, because if you have a joyful heart, the joyful blessings will come your way. That's the second thing I'll tell you. And then finally here, remind yourself of it often and put it to great use. If you're not moving in good energy, then you don't have any energy to put to good use, right? So Always remember that. If you want to be able to have a force field of good around you, you have to create that energy for that force field to work around you. And with that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say one more, especially because you were always one of blessing. And trust you may not be where you want to be, but anyway, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen. Be wise one thing. Call yourself. Another thing, be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have some time with you. You have some time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we'll be great together. And always remember to radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you're not being a Brian Steele, waste of life, incompetent, and really despicable in attacking a woman's trauma. Make sure the replay is not just right for you to watch it, not just right for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I appreciate you all. Always remember, see love God, give or see love God, give or see love God, give it wherever obstacles you come, wherever success you have achieved. On this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one's proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, tomorrow will be the brother from the hotel. There's been a lot of people to come through that courtroom, but for your past to come from behind in present day, that's gotta be a bitch. And I think that tomorrow will be a prime example of, just because you check in to do what you want to do doesn't mean that you get to check out with no consequences. Like I said, commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings all way for you, me, all of us as a society, as people, as a culture. I feel the love is in the right back to you. This is your final tour for the evening. Thank you so much for joining me today. There are plenty of good content careers out there. Go support them. Be careful of going to places where you're not embraced. Go to where you're embraced, not where you are discarded. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering, like I said, Real Housewives of Atlanta will be back here at 8:30 p.m. tonight for that review. One love, much love, all love. I feel love and send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.